Good evening, students. My name is Vinish Shahzad, and I am here to teach you the paper Corporate and Business Law. Can you see the screen? Can you hear my voice properly? Is there any distortion? Okay. If you have any question, you can raise a hand if from your chat boxes, or you can text me in the text box, right? You can text here. Okay, let's start. First of all, on the behalf of Hamzah Academy, I'm so sorry today due to this some link issue which is provided to you. We are not connected. I was online by 8:30, and I think you people are also trying to connect us, but due to some error, we couldn't be on a one platform for the class, right? Okay. My name is Bini Shahzad, and I am an ACCA member, and I'm teaching this paper from last 9 years. 9 years, and today we are going to study for the December 2022. From now today's onward, we are going to study for the December 2022 attempt. Right? You all are here for December 2022 attempt. Okay. Corporate of business law, corporate and business law is the paper in which we are going to study some general rules of law, and obviously law is a full concept that a general person need to understand what is his rights and what his obligations. And obviously uh, the question that raised is that whether why we are studying this paper, right? In this class, I have certain class objective in which I will tell you the structure of your qualification, the place why this paper corporate and business law is included in stage one or two examination. Third, what is the aim of this paper, why this paper is included, and what are the key areas, what are their usages, and how that paper is connected with the our qualification which is ACCA, right? So our every class will start with a class objective, right? Class objective, what we are going to study today. Today, at the end of this class, I will give you a course plan. In that course plan, you will be having a complete breakup of your course into classes, that you will understand. I have a roadmap, you have a roadmap. I will teach you some topics according to that road plan, and you also have something to track me, so that you can understand what is the pace of the class, what is the pace of class, how much syllabus we have covered, how much syllabus is left, and when your test is, when your mock is, when your practice session is. So today this is an orientation class, this is a very introductory class, introduction of this paper, and introduction of this paper, the introduction of the syllabus, and how we will complete this syllabus. Okay. There are two things that I need to tell you. That first, our objective is to pass this paper, corporate and business law. So to achieve this paper, I have a technique. That technique is whatever we study in current class, in today class, you are required to revise that lecture before the next class, because in the next class we will practice the questions. All right, no issues at all, no issues at all. Okay, in the next class, before we go for the next topic, we will practice the questions of the previous topic that we have already done in the previous class. My objective is, obviously, I assume most of the students are job holders. If you are job holders, you may get few time. And secondly, when students are in stage 2, as we know, this paper belongs to stage 2, level 2 of ACCA qualification. So most of the student opt 2 to 3 papers, right, along with this corporate and business law. So we have a little time. So what we will do in the class, whatever we will study, we will complete our exam kit, our practice in the class, so that if after the class, if you give the 30 minutes a day or 20 minutes a day to this paper, then you need very little time to pass this exam, right? So what you have to do, be regular, be punctual, and revise your lecture before the next class. If you will revise the lecture in the next class, when we practice the questions, if there is any question, if there is any lack of concept, that concept will be covered and your practice for the exam will be done. So whenever we do practice, I will also tell you the exam tips and techniques, and I will tell you how the examiner is used to trick you, right? And how you have to trick his answer, right? So your punctuality, your regularity, and your revision is very important. So usually students did a mistake. What they mistake? They did a mistake that they read the lecture, they listen the lecture, then they do not revise it, and thought that they will revise it in future when the course will cover, then they will revise it, or they will listen the or lectures available. But do remember that will consume your time. So be regular, be punctual, and revise your lecture. Revising a lecture hardly takes 20 to 30 minutes, right? If you make this practice, then you will need a fewer time to pass this paper. All right, so first of all, we need to understand, as we are the students of ACCA, right, certified accountants, right? But why we are studying the paper corporate and business law? So firstly, every individual who is the student of ACCA or not need to understand some basic laws that are required to live a life, right? In this class, we will read our paper with the help of journal simple examples that we usually see, right? That we usually see in our routine lives, right? Now, what we are going to do, we are going to give that routine life example a concept, a name, right? So, I will tell you how to memorize the concept, how to memorize the concept, how to how to learn the concept, and how to practice the question, right? Okay, so my two requests are, again, once again, be regular, be punctual, and second, revise the lecture, revise the lecture before the next class, right? Because our objective is to pass this paper. Whatever we study, we will practice it in the class, and at the end of this session, I will give you a very small area that you have to practice by your own, right after this class. For the connection of the teacher and student, Hamzah Academy facilitate us with a WhatsApp group. The students who are registered, who are paid, will be entered in that group, so they can be in touch with me under the supervision of Hamzah Academy throughout the week. So Another benefit of this platform is that if during your revision after the class, if you feel that this concept is missing, I don't get this concept, yes, the online lecture is available, but you can also connect to your tutor directly at the platform of the WhatsApp. Whatever question you have, whatever question you have, you can write on the WhatsApp and I will respond. So two things: weekly classes, and then throughout connection, throughout the week connection with your teacher. Got it? Okay. Now let's go for the class technique. Okay. Okay, one more thing. My objective is to pass your paper, to help you out for passing out your paper. What support I am expecting from your side? The first, your response during the class. If I ask a question, you have to answer it, because your response is the only key that I understand, that can hint me that whatever I am teaching, you are getting it. If you will not respond, I will not get anything. I will not confirm on that whatever I am delivering is clear to you or not. So be connected with me, respond my answers, ask questions. And secondly, if we do not understand a topic, you have to stop me there and tell me that, madam, this is not clear, please repeat it, please revise it. So we will not go further unless you are clear with one topic that we are discussing. So our approach in this class is not only to deliver the lecture. Our approach in this class is the discussion of the topics. Through discussion, through the response, we can understand our topics and prepare ourselves for the exam, right? So this is the approach of the class. Okay. At the start of every class, I will give you the objective of the class. That means what we are going to cover today, right? At the end of this orientation class, I will give you the course plan of the whole syllabus. And in that course plan, you will have the objective of every class that we are going to conduct till the October, right? So through that course plan, take your right and track the performance, track the pace of the syllabus, and time by time remind me that, madam, our pace is slow, our pace is fast, we are not getting this topic, we are not getting that topic, we need the practice of that topic more, right? We understand this topic and we can practice it by ourselves. You can give us the homework for that practice. So your suggestions are important, because this class is not for myself. This class is yourself, and it is your right to take whole knowledge for your exam preparation. Okay, are you with me till now? Very good. Okay. So what is our today's class objective? Today is our orientation class. Today is our introductory class. And the first objective of our class is the structure of ACCA qualification. We will spend very few time on this discussion. We just need to understand why I have included this area, because I want to understand you. I want to deliver you the logic why this paper, corporate and business law, is included in our qualification. If we understand that concept, then we can apply it in the journal life. Okay. So, structure of ACCA qualification. aim of the corporate and business law, exam essentials. Basically, this is the link with other papers, right? And then examinable documents. What are the documents that are helpful for us in our exams? So now, what is the examinable documents mean? I need to deliver, I need to make you understand that not only textbook is enough, not only the notes is enough for your exam preparation, but your examiner who is going to test you, who is going to prepare your paper, also gives some articles, also gives some articles before your exam, to make you understand that the following topics are important for upcoming exams. So you need to track that what article is provided by your examiner. So I will tell you when this topic will come. Okay, detailed syllabus, the exam, the course plan, class technique, what is the class technique, and introduction of the first topic. Clear? So let's go with our first objective of the class, that is structure of ACCA qualification. All right, now, okay. Okay, whatever document I use here, I will also share the link of that document in your chat, because all this information is gathered from the articles of the examiner and the ACCA website. So you can go through them. You can go through them after the class as well. I want to copy it. So this is the first document that I'm going to give you for your reference. Is please copy this link from your chat box, because as we end this class, this chat will also vanish from your screen. So copy this link. Okay, now the structure of ACCA qualification. The first level is applied knowledge, in which you have the basic understanding of accountant of business, how a business is formed, what are the managerial roles, what is the hierarchy, what is the chain of communication, and the second is financial accounting. Financial accounting is the accounting which is used by the investors for making decisions, right? And the management accounting is the accounting which is used by a manager, which is used by the management to make the to manage the business, right? The management accounting is used by the management, and the financial accounting is used by the stakeholders of the business for the decision making purpose. So you all are done with the applied knowledge level. I assume you all are done with the applied knowledge level. Now the second stage is applied skill level. In this stage, we study 6 papers. The very first paper is corporate and business law, and then taxation, and then performance management, and then financial reporting, and then audit and insurance, and then financial management. And after the completion of skills, applied skill level, we are required to complete an ethics and professional module. So you go on your ACCA website, ACCA page, log in your account, and answer and perform the ethics and professionalism skills module. After attempting that module, you go for the strategic professional level 3 of your qualification, in which you have to study these 2 papers compulsory. These are compulsory paper, and you have to choose 2 out of these 4 papers, right? So this is how your qualification is completed. After this, after the completion of the strategic professionals, then you have to go for the practical experience. And when you have fulfilled the practical exposure, then you will become an ACCA member. So where our paper fall? Our paper fall at second level of your qualification, which is applied skill level, right? Applied skill level. Clear? Where your paper fall? At the level 2 of your ACCA qualification. Okay, next. Now, what is the second objective of our class? The second objective of our class is aim of the corporate and business law. Why we are studying the corporate and business law. Now, the second area, okay. Yes, you can see the screen. Okay, aims of the law. What are the aims? The general aim of law is the development of knowledge and understanding about the general legal framework within which an accountant operates. Now, okay, law is a very big branch, right? But from that big branch, we need to understand very fewer parts. The parts that we see in our routine lives as an accountant. So what areas we are going to understand? The areas that we can face during our jobs as an accountant. So an accountant should know what is his right as an employee, right? What is his right and duties and obligation as an auditor, right? What type of contract he made with the company as an employee or as a firm with the client, and in that contract, what are his rights and obligation and duties, right? If the accountant, the auditor will make the contract with the other parties, what are the elements of that contract, how that contract will form, how a company will form, how a partnership will form, how a corporation will form, and what is the hierarchy of that corporation, what are the key positions and what are their roles. So, and being at that position, what are their rights, duties and obligations, right? How the contract will end, how the partnership will end, how the employmentship will end, how the business will come to an end. And if a person, an auditor, an accountant, an employee feels any problem with the contracting party, then under which head, under which court they will sue, they will go and report the mishappening, report the wrongdoing of the other person. So here in this paper, the auditor need to understand all that concept that he that he may face during their jobs. So this is why this corporate and business law is included into our qualification, into our ACC qualification. Clear? I hope now you can understand why this paper is included into the business. So as an accountant, we also see some corporate fraud, bribery, money laundering, uh, uh, money laundering, and spreading the wrong information about the business. So if an accountant or auditor see this type of situation, what he is supposed to do, this will tell you in this paper. right? So the general aim of the law is to development of the knowledge and understanding about the general legal framework within which an accountant operates. It has to be emphasized that law does not aim to make candidates into lawyer. What it says, this line is very important. It says we are studying corporate and business law, but objective of studying this corporate and business law does not mean that you are going to become an lawyer. You are going to become an auditor and accountant. So you need to only understand those concepts and those concepts in little detail which you may face during your jobs as an auditors or accountants. Clear? Is the aim of this paper into your qualification is clear? Okay, very good. Now, what is the second objective of our class? Third, exam essentials, link with other papers. This is the link of this page. Please copy it on your PCs, mobile phones, laptops, whichever you are using. This will be help you out after the class. Okay. What is law about? The aim of the corporate and business law syllabus is to develop a core level of knowledge and skill around a general legal framework in the context of business. I hope this definition is clear. Okay, overview. So, from here, develop an understanding of corporate fraudulent and criminal behavior, money laundering, bribery, market abuse, and management frauds, right? Law is about the law of obligations. All right, no worries. If the students will have, if the students did not get the link, then I will send this link into the WhatsApp. Okay, let me copy it. Just give me a minute. Okay. Now, The first is essential is the law of obligation. And before law of obligation, we need to understand the essential element of the UK legal system. Okay, what is this? Here in this area, essential element of the UK legal system, what we will understand this type of law, the structure of courts, the, which courts come after which court, and what is the jurisdiction of that particular court, and what are the court structure, the civil court structure, the criminal court structure, and then formation of law, how the law is formed, how the law is formed, and then how the law is implemented. So in this area, the formation of the law, essential element and essential element of the UK legal system, and the system of courts, and the sources of law. Then the second branch is the law of obligations, the contract and tort. In this area, we will understand when we enter into a contract. So we all, as an individual, enter in many contracts in our lives. For example, if we go for a shopping, and we go for a shopping and purchase something, so that purchasing is also a contract. So what are the essential element of that contract is that when we enter into the shopping mall, we see so many things on the display. So we say in technical terms that display is the invitation to treat. And if we like something and we take that product to the counter and say we want to buy it, then this is the offer. This is our offer. And then if the salesman accept that and give you an invoice, that means he is accepting it, right? And then offer and acceptance. This is form an agreement. So after the agreement, we need to understand what is the intention of both parties who are engaged in the selling and purchasing of the thing. If our intention is commercial, then we will see that what our intention is to form a legal contract. In our intention, if our intention is not legal, then then the contract will not have any worth in the view of court. And then at the end, how the contract will come to an end, and what are the terms and condition of that contract. What if I buy a t-shirt, then what is the color of that t-shirt, what is the fabric of that t-shirt, what is the price of that t-shirt, if we have any negotiation, if I want to add something about of my choice in that shirt. So this discussion is the terms of the contract. So see, we go through with these steps in every life, in every matter of our life. We enter into a contract. Now what we are going to do under the law of obligations, the contract and tort, we are going to give these journal steps a concept name, right? So the law of obligation. The second is law of employment. What are the right, how an employment contract is formed, what are the rights, duties and obligation of an employee and the employer, how this contract can come to an end, and if there is any dispute between employer and employee, where they will go for the justice. And at third part, we will understand the formation and constitution of the businesses, agency, partnership, corporation, and companies. So then we will see how a company will form, how a partnership will form, how an agency will form, how an agency will form. When a corporation is formed, then there are three important factors which involve. First is capital and financing. When we form a company, we need capital. Some capital is invested as share capital, shares, and some capital is bring into the business as a loan capital. So these are two sources of capital. And when this capital is come into the business, we need management to run that business. So management, administration, and regulations of the company. So what are the key positions at the company, and what are the rights, duties, and obligation of those key positions, and what the company's law says about these positions, and at the end legal implication relating to the law. Whatever we form at this stage may have some legal compliance issues, legal implications, and that legal implication may end that business. So if we end those businesses, the agency, the partnership, the corporation, and the company, then this will study in this area, right? After in these concepts, at the end we will understand, we will develop an understanding about the fraudulent and criminal behaviors, about the fraudulent and criminal behaviors. Clear? So this is the whole structure of our paper. This is the whole concept. This is the whole topics that we are going to study. These are the areas. Which areas? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All these areas have different weightage importance, exam importance. For example, this area may have 10% of exam importance. This is of 30%. This is 10%. This is 10%. This is 10%. This is 10%, and this is, sorry, this is 20%, and this is 10%. So this is how 100% of your syllabus will cover, right? So every topic have exam weightage. Clear? Okay. Now, steps of success. Okay. What are the steps to success is, if possible, I'm here. If possible, study with an approved learning partner, use approved learning content. For example, you are at the Hamzah Academy platform, and whatever content I am giving you is supported by the ACCA examiner or the ACCA website, right? Study the whole syllabus. Practice exam standard question to time, including the specimen exam and practice sets. That means at the ACCA Global website, you have some practice material as well, right? I will give you some practice material in the class, a practice book provided by a publisher, and you may also have so many material on the ACCA Global websites in the form of questions, in the form of mock exams. So these are formed by your examiners to give you an exam overview, right? Ensure you are competent working in the computer-based exam environment. This paper is also computer-based, so ensure that you are to some extent computer literate. Then attempt at least 2 full exams under exam conditions, right? Debrief your answers, the focus your study on weaker areas. So what they are saying, when once you have complete your syllabus, attempt at least 2 mock exams, 2 papers before attempting your exam. So if you find any area which is weak, then give focus on that area. So this step is very important. If you are done with, so many students face this problem, they are good with the concepts, but they do not understand that how to apply that concept on the question which is examiner is asking. So it is very important. Completion of a course is one step. but application of that course with the point of view of your examiner is the second and key concept. If you are done with the concept but you lack in the practice, then there is a lesser chance of passing the exam. So as the coverage of syllabus is important, the on second stage the practice of the syllabus is most important. Clear? Next. Okay, book your CB exam in advance at one of the on-demand CB center. As you know that you can book your exam anytime in any month you wish, right? Next, key resources. Now, what resources will help you out for preparing your exam? The first, exam team guidance to law, practice tests, specimen exams, technical article provided by the examiner, guide to on-demand CBE. CBE, that means there are obviously you are going through with your first three papers, you are done with the guideline of the examiner how to attempt a computer based examination and how to book an online exam and on demand center list. I hope these three things are you already done with your knowledge level papers. Next, tackling the exam. I'm here. You have two sections in your exam, section A and section B. This section A and section B. Okay. Section A is of 70 marks and section B is of 30 marks. Section A has 25 objective test questions, OTs, objective test questions of 2 marks each, and 20 objective text question, 1 mark each. Now what it says, section A has 25 2 marks question and 20 1 marks question, and in total section A will have 70 marks, and in section B 5 6 mark multiple task question. In the multiple task question you will be having a scenario, and out of that scenario the examiner will ask the concepts. So in the class what we will do, whenever we study a concept we will understand that concept with the help of so many examples. Some are our routine life example and some are quoted by your publishers in your exams called case laws, right? When we read these case laws, when we learn a rule and then we read a case law, then we will apply that rule on the case law. Case law is basically a story, a fact, a study in which a case study in which a law is made, a decision is made, a rule is applied. So what we will understand, a rule, we will learn a rule and then apply that rule on a scenario. So in this section B, what the examiner will do, examiner will give you a story, a scenario similar to the scenario which we have studied during our course completion phase, right? And from that scenario the examiner will ask the questions. What the examiner will expect from you, that whatever concepts you have studied in your class, apply that concept in that scenario and answer the question. So these are the very tricky areas. So in the class when we practice these areas, what we will do, we will understand the questions and then we will see how the examiner is going to trick us. The way the examiner will trick us, we will try to answer the right. We will try to answer the right. We try to answer right. Sometimes the examiner will give you a situation, an option, which we see that it is similar to our answer, but it may trick you by one word. by one comma, by one full stop. So we need to understand, we need to pick the trick of the examiner. So how we will pick the trick of the examination? Through the practice. Clear? Are you with me? Students, are you with me? Okay. Okay. Now, what is our exam? Our exam is 100 marks paper divided into two sections. Section A is 70 marks. Section B is 30 marks. Section A has further two areas. One, 25 2 marks question, 2 marks question, and 21 marks question. In total, it has 70 marks. And section B has 6 multiple task questions. Each has a scenario, a task to perform. Right? Now, what are the tips for answering the OT? I am here. Read the question carefully, think before answer, don't rush. If not sure, eliminate other answers to help find the correct answer. Right. What this is very deep line. It is saying that in the exam, if you are studying a question, if you read a question, if you read a question and from the option you know that this is the exact answer, if you know the exact answer, mark this answer, click that answer, select that answer, and go for the next question. But if you are not confirmed, you are not sure about one answer, then what you have to adopt a reverse approach, reverse engineering. See, you can say that, okay, fine, the examiner is asking about particular concept, so this option is not related to this area, this line is not correct, this line is not correct, this line is half correct and half not correct, the remaining line is the answer. So if you know the exact answer, select that answer. But if you do not know the exact answer, adopt the reverse technique, adopt the reverse engineering to find out the correct answer. So these things, these techniques will be on our fingertips when we perform the practice in the class. After one topic, then we have the practice of the question. And at the end, answer all the questions even if unsure of the answer. Right. The last trick is that you have to attempt all questions, whether you know the right answer or not. And what are the tricks of section B? Okay. Read and ensure you understand the scenario. Read the question carefully. Think before answer. Answer all questions if even unsure of the answers. Attempt exam standard questions as possible along with the practice test and exam specimen. So what is the key? What is the key to pass the exam? In my opinion, first, coverage of course. Second, practice of that course. Third, attempt of the mock exams. And fourth, and very important, understand the question what examiner is questioning. Because if you will not answer according to the expectation of the examiner, you will get no marks. Right? So the techniques of the examiner to trick the student, and if the students are able to understand that tricks, then the chances of passing the exam will be maximized on the higher ends. Clear? So this is the essentials, exam essentials for the corporate and business law. Are you with me? You understand what I am telling you? Okay. Now, let's move towards our next class objective. Our next class objective is examinable documents. Okay. Okay. Examinable documents, September 2021 to August 2022. In the for the attempt of December 2022, the concept, the documents are still the same, right? Okay. Corporate and business law. The very first area is corporate and business law. What is corporate and business law? Knowledge of new example regulation and legislation issued by 31st August will be examinable in examination. That means at every year at 31st August, the scheme of study for the next year is decided, right? In the examination session being held in the following calendar year. Documents may be examinable even if the effective date is in the future. This means that the regulation and legislation issued by 31st August 2020 will be examinable for corporate and business law computer-based examination from 1st September 2021 to 31st August 2022. That means the documents which examinable documents issued on 31st August 2022 will be examinable in the December 2022. So there is no change in the list of documents till now. So the same documents are examinable, right? So our very first area is English legal system. Knowledge of the civil procedures. Knowledge of the Civil Procedures Rules Act 1998, Constitutional Reform Act 2005. So this document is the document in which we are having the understanding that this act, this rule, we are going to study under this head. So few minutes later, few minutes before, I have give you a I have already given you a document with the weightage of the concept, with the weightage of the concept. So in this examinable document, we are going to study which rule, which act we are going to study under the particular area. So in under English legal system, we are going to study Civil Procedure Rule 1998 and Constitutional Reform Act 2005. The second area, the 10% weightage. The second area is law of obligation. Knowledge of the Unfair Contract Term Act 1997, Contract Rights of Third Parties Act 1999, and Consumer Right Act 2015. So in the law of obligation, we are going to study these 1, 2, 3, 4 acts. Sorry, 3 acts. The exam importance is 30%. Weightage is 30% of this area. The second area is employment law. 10% weightage. Knowledge of Employment Right Act 1996, Employment Tribunals, Legislation 2013, Unfair Dismissal Order 2012, and the Enterprise and Regulation Reform Act 2013, and Small Business Enterprise and Employment Act 2015. Clear? Examination, partnership. Knowledge will be required for the Partnership Act 1890, the Limited Partnership Act 1907, the Limited Liability Partnership Act 2002, and the Civil Liability Act 1978. Company law. Knowledge of the Companies Act 2006, under which the companies are formed, under which the corporations are formed, right? And then Company Director Disqualification Act 1983, Insolvency Act 1986, and Small Business Enterprise and Employment Act 2015. Corporate fraudulent and criminal behavior. Knowledge of the Criminal Justice Act 1993, Insider Dealing and the Proceed of Crime Act 2002, the Money Laundering Regulation 2017, and the Market Act 2000. This is regarding the market abuse. Knowledge of the Bribery Act 2010 and the Crime and Court Act 2013, Criminal Financial Act 2017. So in this document, there is a list of acts that we are going to study during the for the completion of our exams. Clear? Next. The next objective of our class is syllabus content. Syllabus content. Just a fast forward to a syllabus content. I want you to read the syllabus content by yourself and ask if you have any question, because I have already give a brief, a bird's eye view on the syllabus content. Now I want to read each point in the syllabus content so that we can understand what are the detailed topics. Please read it. You can see the screen. Okay. Okay. Is there any question? Is there any question? Now, okay. Now, what is the next class? Class. What is the next objective of the class? The next objective is detailed syllabus, right? Now, this is the detailed syllabus. Please read it. Okay, so these are the detailed concepts that we are going to cover one by one. Clear? Okay, in the WhatsApp group, I will share all these links, so that after the class you can have an bird's eye view on these areas, right? Okay, our next class objective is the exam. Okay, we have already done with the exam, but let's see what the other reference document we have for the exam. This, right? Section A, Section A, Section B, Section A 70 marks question, Section B 30 marks question. Section A will have 25 2 marks question and 21 mark question. In total, it has 70 marks, and Section B, five questions, five scenarios, each have 6 marks. 30 marks in total, and total A and B section have 100 marks. Okay, here I will also tell you one more thing, that how much time you have for 1 mark. So you have 120 minutes for your paper, for your exam, so if you divide the minutes into the mark, then 100 divided by 120 divided by 100, 1.2 minute for 1 mark, right? So you have to spend 1.2 minute, 1 minute for 1 mark. Okay, it's a 2-hour computer-based question, computer-based examination. Next, the next class objective is very important. The course plan. 8, the course plan. Okay, this is the division of your course into 17, yes, 17 classes. So in class 1, you will have this class objective. In class 2, this is the class objective. Class 3, the class objective. Class 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is the course plan that again I will share you on the WhatsApp group, in which I have divided the whole syllabus into the classes, So in 17 classes, we will have one mock question, one mock exam, and obviously after this is in the class 17, and obviously during the class, after the completion of each area, for example, if I am done with the class 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, then after 6 classes I will have a question, I will have a test to examine you, that how much you have understand. And then after class 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, again I will have a test. Then after class 12, 13, 14, 15 and 16, I will have a mock exam. Okay, just give me a minute. Okay, can you see the course plan now? Yes, very good. Class 1, structure of ACCA qualification. See, it's what we have covered today: structure of ACCA qualification, aim, exam essentials. Now currently I am at course plan. Then I will discuss the class technique, and then we will have break of 10 minutes, and then we will start the first topic. Then we will start our first topic. In our next class, we will do sources of law, how the law will be formed, how the law will form. And in third class, first we have practice of sources of law, and then we will study the next topic. And after every 5 classes, we will have a test. We will have a test, and after the end of the classes, class 17, 16, we will have a grand mock exam. We will have a grand mock exam. Clear? Please have a look on the course plan. This is in accordance to the detailed syllabus that you have just read on your screens. First, these 6 classes. See the 6 classes. And then 7, 8, and 9 class. And then 10, 11, and 12 class. See, your whole syllabus is divided into these 17 classes. In every class, we will have a practice session, the practice of the previous class. For example, if we are done with these topics today, these topics of class 7 today, in class 8, first we have practice of the class 7, and then we will proceed for the topics of class 8. Right? Then class 13, 14, and 15, and 16. This is the course plan. You are required to track this course and have an eye on the pace of the syllabus. Okay. Now, I will also share this course plan in the WhatsApp group. Now, what is our next class objective? It's class technique. Point 9, class technique. Okay. Every class will start with a list of class objective, and the end of the class, topic of the next class will be shared. At the start of every class, I will give you a list of topics that we are going to cover in that class. And at the end of the class, I will share a list of topics that we will study in the next class. After completion of topic, there will be a practice session. We will practice exam type questions. There will be a WhatsApp group in which we can interact regularly in the other days of week as well. And very important, student interaction during class, because this is only your communication with me. If I will ask any question, I expect that you will answer that. And if you have any question, if you do not understand anything, then you also have to communicate, right? So your interaction is very, very important for me. My objective is not only to cover the syllabus, but my objective is to make you understand whatever we are studying, right? So time is not important for me. We can take one or two extra classes. We can take 31 hour or one class extra. But for me, it is important whatever I am delivering, you understand it, right? So your interaction with me will tell me whatever I am delivering, you are getting that. So student interaction during class is the only key which convey me that you are getting my concepts, right? For once again, I emphasize, for me, your understanding is important. Course completion is not important. For me, I will move to the other topic if I'll confirm that you are done whatever I have delivered, right? Course coverage is one part, but your understanding is very, very, very important, right? We will not move forward towards other topic until unless we are done, we will completely understand the topic we are discussing. Clear? Clear? So your student interaction, your communication with me is very important for me. Clear? Now, what is our next class objective? Okay. It's introduction point 10, introduction of first topic, right? I think we should have a 10 minutes break and then we will go for our first topic, which is English legal system. Okay, let's have a 10 minutes break. Are you with me, students? Yes. Okay, 10 minutes break and then we will start with our very first topic, which is English legal system, right? 10 minutes break. I'll be right back after 10 minutes. Welcome back. Are you with me? Okay, let's move towards our first introduction of the first topic. Okay, can you see the English legal system on your screens? Okay, our today's first topic is English legal system. In this area, we will try to understand the law, types of law, and civil court structure. Today, we will cover these three things. Okay. And rest of the topic will include criminal court structure, Civil Procedure Act 1993. See, this is the act that we are going to cover, which we have studied in the course essentials, right? In which we have the list of topics area wise, and here, there we have studied that there is a Civil Procedure Rule Act 1998. So in English legal system, the act that we are going to study is 1998, and the introduction of European Court of Human Rights, the European Court of Justice, and the Privy Council. Okay, now let's go for law. What is law? Why it is important for society, and how law developed over time. Okay. See. Law is the set of rules govern the human society developed over 1,000 years. Okay. What is the story? How the law is developed is in the very, very early days of life. It is the story that I'm going to tell you, that in the very early days of life, the objective of the life is to have food, right? And how the people will get the food is that they are divided. Society is divided into different strong and weak groups, right? Every time strong group will get the food from the weak group, and the weak group, due to shortage of food, will die. So they always fight with each other. The stronger group always kill the weaker group, right, to get the food. So the survival is on the basis of their food. So one day they thought if the life will be gone with the same pattern, then every human being will die one day, right? Every time a stronger group will kill the weaker group, then one day all the human beings will die. So they need a set of rules through which they can spend their lives, right? So they introduce a set of rules, a set of deal with each other, a set of rules through which they can spend their lives, they can deal with their routine matters, so that fighting and killing will be end, and they resolve their matters with talk, right? So this is the way the law will come into force. Now, I'm here. In the early days of human existence, survival was achieved by working as group. There was very fine line between life and death. Human kills their fellow humans for food. Then they realize that they need a social order to live life. There must be some rules of life. By following those rules, we can have idea how to interact, how to deal with each other, with individual, and how business will operate. Right now, so when the society realized that they need a social control mechanism to live their life, then they introduced two branches of it: formal control mechanism, and informal control mechanism. Formal control mechanism is law, and informal control mechanism is ethics, right? Law provides a structure, a set of rules. Law provides a structure, a set of rules that you have to follow. If you will not follow the rules, then the state will punish you. Clear? The state will punish you. And on the other hand, the ethics tell you the rules that better to be followed, right? Better to be followed. It tell you the ethical rules, the ethical set of rules that are considered better to follow. But if you will not follow it, you will not be punished as strict, right? So law is the part of social control mechanism, and ethics is the part of informal control mechanism. Law you are required to follow, and ethics is better to follow, right? Under law, if you not follow the rules of the state, you will be punished by fine, by imprisonment, right? What the law provides guidance for: to deal with disputes and setting the procedure to stop or discourage dispute, punish the guilty. So the objective of the law is not to deal with the disputes only, but also set a system that avoid the arousal of dispute in the future, right? What is the objective of the law? Two objectives. First, to deal with the dispute, and the second to set a mechanism to stop the arousal of the dispute in the future. So what the law do in the second phase? It punish the guilty, so that by seeing the guilty punished, the society will avoid to carry the same mistake, right? The purpose of law to deal with the dispute, and second, to stop the arousal of that dispute in the future. Clear? Okay. Law is the set of rules that society has to follow, and if society do not follow rules, it will be punished. Clear? So the definition of law is clear to you? Okay, very good. Next, types of law. There are four types of law: common law and equity, statute law, private and public law, and criminal law and civil law. Okay, first, common law. Common law is the early system. Rigid rules by the royal courts, judge travel around country to observe the peace. If no peace, harsh consequences, monetary remedy. Okay. The very first type of law is the common law. How the common law is established through the common practices of the living. Common practices of the living. Right? For example, what the people do, they exchange the goods against the goods, barter system. Right? So this is the common rule of living. So what they do, whenever you want a thing, then you have to give against that thing the money or the other thing equivalent to the value. Right? So this is the common law. Common law, which is formed through the common practices of the life. Common practices. So it is the earliest system, it is the very first system in which the rules, the states of kings are run. Right? Right? The order of the kings were considered final order. Right? Whatever king has said, the other nation is bound to follow the orders of the king. So whatever king has said, whether it is right or wrong, the nation has to follow that. So it is the rigid rules by the royal courts. Royal courts which are led by the kings. Clear? So how the implementation of the orders of the kings is followed? Through the judges, the partners of the kings, the person of the kings, the king to whom the king relied the most. Right? What he said, what he used to do to send their judges in different states of its country and see whether the orders of the kings are followed or not. Right? If the judges of the king, judges of the royal court is observes that in somewhere the orders of the kings are not followed, then they punish the wrongdoer. Right? So common law, which is formed through the common practices, it is the earliest system. It is the system of royal courts which are governed by the king. So the implementation of the common law is through the judges of the king, judges of the royal court who travel around the country. Right? Just to see that whether the orders, whether the rules of the king are followed or not. If the rules are not followed, then there are harsh consequences. There's punishment, there is fine, there is imprisonment. Clear? Is the common law is clear? Okay, good. Then the equity law. Equity law is the modern stage of the common law. You can say the equity law is the next step to the common law. All the things are same, but the equity law introduced the equity, the justice, right? It not only give the compensation to the monetary loss, but it also compensate the feelings of the persons, right? The feelings of the persons. For example, the common law only deals with the monetary losses, but the equity law introduces the fairness, where maybe there is no monetary loss. For example, if I go to a museum where I see a painting which reminds me of my childhood, and I request to the owner of the painting for the purchase of the painting. The owner maybe, and I also pay some advance against that payment with a promise that I will return with the remaining payment to you by the evening. Right? What I have done, I have given an advance payment to the owner of the painting so that he will not sell that payment to some other person. But
By the evening, when I have come with the remaining payment, I may find that the owner of the owner of the painting already sold that painting to some other person. So did I have any material loss, any monetary loss? Maybe the advance which I have given to the owner, he may be agreed to return it to me, but I may get my money, advance money back. I may not have any monetary loss, but common law will say, fine, if I do not have any monetary loss, I will not get any compensation. But the equity law will say, no, the feelings attached with the uniqueness of that painting will also compensate, right? What the equity law says, equity law introduce the fairness. Fairness is in this scenario is that if I want to buy the painting due to its uniqueness because it reminds me of my childhood, then this painting must be given to me. Common law will say if I do not have any monetary loss, I will not be compensated. But equity law will say as my feelings are attached with that painting, then I must get that painting. Clear? Did you get the difference between common law and equity law? There are same rules, right? But the two distinguishing facts, common law treats, compensate the monetary loss, and equity law compensate it. The equity law follow the fairness and justice. Applies where equity law applies where money is not suitable remedy. Introduce fairness and justice. Equity damages. Example of unique painting which I have just shared. Clear? Clear? Okay. Next, statute law. Statute law. Statute law made by different judges, group of different mind people having different skills, make laws whose society observe. Very important. I emphasis on the line, make laws who society observes. Group of judges, parliament, law, statute. Okay. We all have heard the word of parliament. In the parliament, different people elected by the general public sit together and make laws, right? You agree? Parliament is the place where different people elected by the general public sit together and decide rules. These rules are called the statute law. So who made this? Who made the statute law? Different judges, different like-minded people, right? Obviously, one king who is making the law may not be expert of all fields. So what they do to improve the laws, what they do, they combine, they collect, they invite people of different fields, specialists of different fields together to make laws related to all fields, right? So like-minded people having different skills, people having different specialties, people having different knowledges, skill together and make laws which are covering maximum, or we can say all branches of dealing, right? Maybe one is expert in taxation, maybe one is specialist in public health, maybe one is a specialist of medical field. So what they do, they combines like-minded people, they combine different skill set to make laws covering all fields. Clear? So statute law, group of judges, judges sitting in the parliament designing the laws for the society is called the statute law. So who are the judges? Who are the person who make the laws? Person elected by the general public. Clear? Are you done with the statute law? Okay. Now, private law. Private law deals with the disputes between individual, businesses, groups, and organizations. Right? Individual, business, groups, and organization. State provide rule. Public may decision by following the rules. State do not get involved. Individual affects. We can say private law is a set of law which is established by the state. Law established by the state, but it is implemented by the elected persons of the state. State directly do not get involved. Public law is the law which deal with the individual, groups, and businesses. Individuals, small businesses, small groups, small organization. So the jurisdiction of the private law is small, some number of people. So private state introduced the law, but it is implemented by the general public by following those laws. State do not get involved directly. The private law affects individuals, right? But the public law impact all the government bodies, big bodies, large number of persons, big organization, big groups, countries. So the public law affect the large number of persons. It involves the government. It concerned with the government. So what is public law? Concerned with government, see operation, functions of the public organization, public effect. In private law individuals affect. In public law, whole public is affected, right? If someone steal my purse, then I am affected, right? But if there is a bomb lost in some state, then a large number of persons affected. So public law which affect large number of persons. Private law which affects small number of persons. Clear? This private and public law is clear. Okay, very good. The next is criminal law. Criminal law is type of public law. Crime is an act which is prohibited by law, means you are not allowed to kill anyone, but if you do it, it's a crime. Crime is a type of public law. Crime is any act which is prohibited by law. For example, if you are involved in bribery, it's a crime because your law do not allow you to commit a crime, do not allow you to give your company's secret information to anyone else. Your law do not allow you to bribe someone to give you any favor which is not justifiable, right? You are not allowed to kill someone, right? So crime is any act which is prohibited by law. So law is a jurisdiction. Law is a set of rules. Law is a social control mechanism in which you have to live your life, deal with your business affairs. Clear? So criminal law is a type of law. Crime is any act which is prohibited by law. if crime society community affected and state punish the wrongdoer. If someone commits a crime, then state directly involved. So you can say in the public law, state will directly involve and decide the punishment to the wrongdoer. So burden of proof is on guilty. In the criminal law, the person who is suspected for a murder is supposed to give the evidences that he is not murderer. So burden of proof is on guilty party, on the suspect. If someone has committed, someone stole, someone committed a fraud in a company, then the person who is suspicion for the fraud is required to give the evidences that he is not the fraud, right? Terminology: prosecute and accused. Prosecute is the person who identified the suspect, and accused is the person to whom it is suspicion that he is involved in a criminal activity. Clear? Criminal law. And then public law, civil law. Sorry, civil law is type of private law. Regulates disputes over right and obligation of person dealing with each other. No punishment, rather compensation. Party may settle dispute by themselves. Terminology: criminal and defendant, claimant and defendant. Claimant who claims, and defendant who defend himself. And and the case is decided on balance of probability. Balance of probability means both parties, the claimant who is claiming and the defendant who is defending himself, both are required to prove that they haven't done anything wrong. So civil law and public law. Civil law and criminal law. Civil law is a private law. Criminal law is a public law. In the criminal law, the prosecute and accused is the terminology, and in the civil law, the claimant and defendant is the probability. In the civil law, balance, the case is decided on the balance of probability, and in the criminal law, the burden of proof is on the guilty. In the civil law, state do not gets involved directly, but in the criminal law, state directly involves and punish the wrongdoer. Clear? Okay, I think this is enough for today. Yes, I think this is enough for today, because if I will start the next topic, it will take 30 minutes. So only 9 minutes are left for the end of the class. If you have any question, you can ask. Okay, all of you get the notes of the Hamzah Academy, detailed notes of the Hamzah Academy. I think these notes are already shared with you through the email or whatever mean used by the Hamzah Academy. Okay. Do you have the first volume of the corporate and business law notes with you? No. Okay. I will also request the coordinator of Hamzah Academy to share the notes with you first. And secondly, there are two types of notes you will go through during the course coverage. First, the notes of the Hamzah Academy, and secondly, I will share some points, some topics, some notes on your screen. These are different and detailed notes are different, right? You will get these notes that you are seeing on your screen in the WhatsApp group, and the detailed notes which are divided into the two volumes, volume 1 and volume 2. These notes, detailed notes, will be shared by the coordinator of Hamzah Academy to you, right? I will request the coordinator to share the notes as early as possible, right? And I will share these notes, these points that you are seeing on your screens by WhatsApp group, right? But now, how you have to revise your lecture? First, you have to go through with these points which you are seeing on your screen, and you will be shared and available on your WhatsApp group. And second, then you have to go through with the notes of the Hamzah Academy. So this is very small area which we have covered today. I will share the links in the WhatsApp group, and then the short notes which you are seeing on your screens in the WhatsApp group before your next class, and you are required to go through with all these material before the next class. Clear? Okay, very good. If you want to suggest any change in the technique of class, you are most welcome. Okay, then goodbye from my side. Have a very, very, very blessed and good week ahead. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Flexibility is available for throughout the classes, right? So thank you very much, and goodbye from my side. Wish you a very, very, very best week ahead. Inshallah. Thank you. Thank you very much. See you in the next class. Goodbye. Goodbye, everyone.